Governor J back, presenting facts over fiction to give you the knowledge you've been missing. Welcome back to the channel. Let's put your emotions to the side. Hit that like and subscribe. Now listen, man. I had to get on here and make this statement, man. And it's a little bit random, but not really, because we recently had a video go viral out of LA, some hood vlog with these little Crips or whatever. And they got pressed on by some essays, and it really exposed, that fear, that the black people, the black Americans out there in Southern California have for those Latinos. They're scared. Like that's the reality of the situation, man. They're scared. I've seen it firsthand. They're scared, and I gotta get on here and say this because you got a lot of content creators coming out of California. I mean, obviously, it's California, especially LA, right? So you got a lot of content creators that come out of there, and they always lying about how black folks aren't scared of Mexicans. Like, they're clearly terrified, right? You know what I mean? It's obvious. Like, to the whole country, we see it. But the brothers and the sisters or whatever out there in California, they're in denial. They don't really want no smoke with, what I mean? They really scared. Like, they don't really want no smoke. So they gotta like downplay it. You know what I'm saying? Because if they really address it, or if they, admit to it, then it's like, then they gotta live with the consequences out there. And I'm laughing or whatever, because I be out there, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm thinking about going back. That way I can really talk about stuff, because I have feet on the ground once again. You know what I mean? Now before, I didn't talk, but if I was to go back now, oh yeah, I talk my stuff, because it's obvious, man. The brothers and sisters are scared out there. They terrified. They writing NK on different walls. They write out the whole N-word, kill N-word, unaliver. Read the lines. They put that on the wall out there. Um, and yeah, it's like Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? And like, you ever read stories about Jim Crow and the type of stuff that the Klan used to do to black folks in the South? That's kind of like how black folks are living in Los Angeles. Yeah, yeah. It's pretty accurate. That's how they live out there. They got some downtowns, certain places that they can't go to, because if they do, they might not come back. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. And it don't be them snow colored people. You know what I mean? It be them sand colored people. You know what I'm saying? It be the sand colored people. You know what I mean? So just know that they scared, man. They terrified out there. I seen it with my own eyes. You know what I mean? So when they get on these podcasts and these panels and they talk about how such and such a gang went to war with this other Mexican gang, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing, because that's just a gang. Like, I'm talking about everyday life and civilian life in California. The black folks are terrified of Mexicans on civilian life, on a job site. They don't want no smoke with them in no aspect. You know what I'm saying? Because the way them Mexicans roll out there, yeah, they like the KKK, especially the gangs. They roll like the KKK. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how they do their politics out there. That's how they do their government out there. Everything that they dominate is on some KKK stuff. Who's this, man? Scooter, man. What's up? Okay, we got, okay, yeah. Less than 2% of you where I live, but we're working hard on that. Where you from, David? Where you live at? You know what I mean? Since you talking, where you from? Where you from? Since you working on it, let's see if we can reverse that. You know what I mean? Let us know where you from, man. Since you talking spicy. But yeah, man. Like I said, man, for the black folks out there, man, they scared, and it's unfortunate, but it's the reality. And if you from California, you might as well get up out of there, man. You know what I'm saying? You might as well get up out of there, because they already ran y'all up out of there. It's too expensive over there. You know what I'm saying? They running it, like a plantation out there. Just leave, man. You ain't got to get on the podcast and lie. You ain't got to get on a podcast and act like you tough. And so, you went to war with this gang and all that, man, when them gangs out there terrorizing civilian black folks. They don't even have to go after the gang. They got Mexican gangs that roll around out there and just go target the brother standing on the bus stop. What the gang doing for that? What black gang avenge those type of unalignments? They don't be doing nothing out there, man. They be talking about, oh, that's not my hood. That wasn't my hood. They go knock them off in a Mexican hood. There don't be no black hoods over there. Nobody rides back over to the Mexican hood and go avenge those unalignments. Come on now. They ain't doing nothing out there, man. So I just wanted to put that message out there for y'all too, man, because it was on my mind after seeing them young boys get punked out there on them California streets. How you gonna have some essays roll up on you, right? Some anti-black essays, because I think one of them was from Azusa 13, the other one was MS 13, and then the other one was like Avenue 13 or something, and then he gonna sit there and say, "Well, I'm A gang too." How you gonna say you A gang too, bro? That ain't what kind of A gang you talking about? Not them A games. Like he, man, they so shook out there, man. Young boy say, "Well, I'm from ATF Compton Crip." Soon as the essay say F Compton Crip, there ain't no more speaking after that. You know what I mean? You can't reply back to that with, "Oh, that's how you feel. I love my Mexicans." Nah, bro, you scared. You scared, bro, and then you turn into a rapper after that. After that, first you was ATF Compton Crip, now you a rapper, man. And then you want to get on the joint, tell me them black folks not scared out there. Come on, man. They definitely scared out there, man. I had to tell a few of them when I was out there that they were scared, man, and they didn't want to believe me. I'm like, man, y'all scared out here, man. How y'all let these Mexicans talk to y'all like that? They like, what you mean? Talk to us like what? Like, dog, you letting them call you the N word and all this type of stuff? You doing double the work that Maria doing over there, and they sitting there had to think about it. Like, you know what? You right. Like, what you mean? You know what? I'm right. Why you had to think about that? I seen it off the rip. I seen it off rip. They running you around making you do double the work while they sitting there laughing and talking about you my N word and all that, and you doing twice the work they do. Oh, dog, bro, you right. I ain't even look at it like that. I'm like, damn, this how y'all living out here? This how they do y'all in California? It couldn't be me, man. Anytime I got some Mexicans on the job, I step to them first day. I step straight to them first day, all of them. All the men step straight to them. I ain't with none of your games. I know how y'all get down. Y'all ain't doing me like that. And they always come back like, oh, what you mean, brother? What do you, I don't know what you mean, you know? Why you hostile? Yeah, first day I'm hostile to you. Don't try me. Don't try me. That's how you gotta come to them. And I try to tell all the brothers that that's how you gotta step to these Hispanics. They don't gotta be Mexican. On the East Coast, when you working at jobs and stuff like that, when it's primarily Puerto Rican and stuff like that, you gotta do the same thing with them. First day on the job, you gotta step to whoever the supervisor, whoever it is, man. Go straight up at them. You know what I mean? What you got to lose? It's your first day. Yeah, they might fire you first day. So what? Or they gonna respect you. That's what you need. That's what you need to get. It's the respect thing. So it's either you go in there, don't be on some desperate stuff. That's why you gotta have your finances in order. That way you ain't desperate. So if you do step on the job site for the first time and it's dominated by Latinos, you know, first off, you gotta understand you're gonna be in for some bullshit on that job. You're gonna be in for some garbage on that job. Working with Latinos is worse than working with them snow colored people. It's worse than them. They worse. So, like I said, whoever's in charge, you got to step straight to them. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know you ain't going for no bullshit. You ain't going for the games. You ain't going for none of that stuff. And if you ain't ready to do that, then you won't be in for a world of pain dealing with them on job sites. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they don't do in California. In California, they don't do nothing, man. They be getting bullied on job sites in California. I seen it happen with my own eyes. So I don't want to hear about what gang went to war with this other gang in California and that proves that black folks ain't scared. That doesn't prove that you're not scared. Because it ain't just gang life going on in California. You got everyday civilian life where black people was getting terrorized by Latinos, Mexicans in particular. You know what I mean? Central Americans secondarily. You know what I mean? So I just gotta put that message out. I dare somebody to come in here and try to argue against what I'm saying. Like I said, I've seen it happen with my own eyes. I've lived in Los Angeles, California. I lived down there in San Diego. I lived in Tijuana, Mexico. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm talking about. I remember when I was in middle school out there in the valley in California, they had black versus Latino gang war back then. Back then, when I was in middle school, I ain't even know nothing about that. I'm coming from the East Coast. I'm like, what y'all got going on out here? Oh, y'all beefing now? And it was the same cliques, different cliques of gangs or whatever. It's like the Bloods versus some Latino gang in the Valley, and they was actually cool. It was like they was cool for most of the school year, and then something popped off, and then all of a sudden they was beefing for like a month or two, and then they went friends again. And I'm like, man, damn, this stuff is weird, man. But that's the beginning of it. I see now, looking back on it as a grown man, that's where it starts at in the middle school, and then it just progresses. High school, everybody start catching bodies by high school. You know what I'm saying? So trust me, them black folks is out there scared. I seen them scared. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I ain't scared. I'm from the East Coast, man. We don't play that out here. If you a Mexican on here, just know you don't make no noise in my city. Mexicans aren't making no noise in Philly. You know what I'm saying? They try to keep their head down. They ain't making no noise out here. So, like I try to tell everybody out here, man, we need to be we might as well just start bullying them. You know what I'm saying? While they still outnumbered, because they always act humble when they got lower numbers, and then once they get their numbers up, then it's like then they throw their middle finger up, and now all of a sudden we all kind of in words and mayates and cocolos and all this other every other racial slur they got in the book for us because they got 1,000 of them. You know what I'm saying? But before that, when it's just a few of them, then it's we all in this together and we all people of color and we got all that garbage, all trash, garbage, and we ain't going for it no more. So I'm just putting this message out there because I'm tired of hearing the California brothers every time they get put on the hot seat for allowing Mexicans to disrespect them. Their comeback is always, well, you ain't from here, so you don't understand. It's the same argument that the New Yorkers have. You ain't from here, so you don't understand. Dude, I don't have to be from there to understand, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I done lived on the West Coast. And they ain't gonna say even if you just live there, you still don't understand. It don't matter how long you live there, because you ain't from here, you don't understand. Nigga, you scared. That's what you really mean, nigga. We understand. We understand you scared. That's what it is. Y'all outnumbered. The Mexicans is vicious out there, and you scared. Just say that. You know what I'm saying? Just say that. We already know what it is. Come on now. We already know what it is. Y'all niggas just shook. Y'all niggas shook, man. I got family in LA right now, man. They tell me, now they ain't gonna come out straight up and say they scared or whatever, but they are. They are. They definitely was scared when I moved to TJ. I told them, yo, man, come on down, TJ, man. I got the crib or whatever. Come to school. I ain't going over there. I said, damn, man, you scared, man? It ain't but 2 hours away from you. You ain't gonna come down, pull up? No, nigga, you tripping, man. I don't like come see you San Diego. That's how they be, man. Niggas scared. So don't let them lie to you on these podcasts. Every time they on a podcast and they talking about Latino versus black or whatever going on out there, don't let them lie to you and say that black folks ain't scared, because they're fucking terrified. I've seen them. I seen them scared. That's why they don't talk about them like that. That's why you got people like Tariq Nasheed, right, who I was just talking about in the previous live stream. He's in California and don't never want to discuss the hate crimes and all the terrorism going on out there in California. He wants to talk about tethers and Africans that he don't be nowhere around. He don't be nowhere near these people. He trusts and believe that Tariq does not interact with too many tethers where he lives at and where he frequents. He's out there in the San Fernando Valley. How many tethers and Africans are out there? No, dude, you dealing with hostile Latinos that you never discuss. You never discuss. You worry about tethers. I deal with tethers where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? It's tethers around here where I be at. He don't even be over here. That's all he talk about. They talk about them Latinos, bruh. Talk about how they doing y'all dirty out there, man. I seen another video coming out of LA. They had a little black girl in some daycare, and the daycare chick throw a shoe at the little girl or whatever. From across the room, throw a shoe at her. Man, those is Latinos up in that daycare. Like, how are they still out there? How are you leaving your kids in a Latino daycare? Damn. Like I mean, I'm pretty sure black daycares are probably few and far between out there. But to leave your kids at like a majority Latino daycare, are you crazy? Are you crazy? As a black person, you gotta be crazy as hell. You gotta be. Come on, man. You gotta be crazy, man. You got Latinos won't leave their kids at family members' houses because they know how they get down. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole thing on Twitter on for the last 2 days on Twitter or X or whatever. They talking about all the pedophilia going on amongst the Latino population, particularly the Mexicans. They talking about all about the pedophilia that goes on all amongst their family on a regular basis, and they just protect it and hide it, man. You know what I mean? Real rap, man. I done dealt with plenty of Mexican women. They damn near all of them been molested at one point when they was a kid. They all had a story of being molested. A lot of them by like a family member, like an uncle or something. Like that's just normal. And then they keep that shit, sweep it under the rug, keep it real quiet and shit. That's the real reality over there. So they shook, man. They shook, man. You know what I mean? That's not something we do amongst our culture. You know what I'm saying? We don't get down like that, man. That's a whole nother level of savagery that we ain't on. So we gotta understand, yeah, they a little bit more savage than we are. Just admit that. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk about how you ain't scared, blah blah blah, because such and such gang went to war. But no, nigga, I don't want to hear that. I ain't trying to hear that. I don't want to hear that when they jumping niggas in school bathrooms at all them schools all across Southern California. Every day you got black kids getting jumped in bathrooms, getting jumped after school, all that type of shit. You want to talk about what gang went to war with that other gang 20 years ago? Nah, man. Nah. That ain't gonna work no more. Niggas gonna have to be honest about the situation. You scared. And it's similar in New York. A lot of them niggas scared up there in New York, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like the Latinos up there in New York, like the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans in New York, they not as vicious. Like they ain't as hateful, to be honest. They not as hateful as the Mexicans. They're just not. You know what I'm saying? Even though they anti-black and they haters too, like they ops too, but they not as violent. That's what it comes down to. They're not as violent as the Mexicans, right? So you got to understand the black folks dealing with heavy violence coming from the Mexican gangs out there, and they scared, man. I'm gonna keep reinforcing that, just so you know, because if you've never been to California and you don't know, and all you do is watch No Jumper or whoever else makes content, whatever other gang content you watching, and when they get on there talking about how black folks ain't scared, just know they're lying. They lying. Them niggas are scared. They scared, man. And the Mexicans are oppressing them in all aspects of society. It's not just gang culture. It's not just gang culture. They oppress you on the job. They're oppressing them through politics. They're oppressing them through the police. You know what I'm saying? They got anti-black Hispanic gangs on the police forces, and they click up with the white supremacist gangs and all that. Come on, man. Them niggas is scared, man. Look, man, the young boys was on the video. Y'all seen that hood vlog? They was on the video on their knees for Mexicans when they pulled up on them. When the Mexicans pulled up on them and pressed them Crip Bulls, they was on there talking about how they said don't beef with that Latino set in Compton that historically has had beef with them. Oh no, that he's on there talking about, well, that's the narrative that we beef with them, but no, I love my CVs. That's what he was saying. Well, we love our CVs. Like, nigga, you see, because he's scared. And in the middle of him saying that, you got some other gangs pulling up talking about where you from. What you doing out here? Where you from? Soon as he tell him where he from, F where you from, F Compton Crip. It should be up after that. Young boy talk about, no man, why you lie? It's like that. We love Mexicans. You gonna tell me niggas not scared? Come on, man. And that's another thing about them out there. They always talk about how, well, it ain't all of them. Why do they always gotta stress that it's not all of them? And they always gotta stress that, well, we cool with some Mexican gangs and all that. We cool with some of them gangs. The only reason you cool with them is because they tolerate you. Because they tolerate you. That's why you say you cool with them. Or because you buying drugs from them. So you making them rich while you redistribute them drugs and poison your own community. That's how you cool with them. See what I'm saying, man? That's how they get down out there in California. You know what I mean? And then they got an issue with black folks from out of state that call that garbage out. Like they got a problem with them. Instead of having a problem with them with the Latinos that's oppressing you, no, you basically going to ally with them and talk about, well, this is a California thing. You don't know how we do it over here. You don't know about the politics and the culture. So you with them basically then. We trying to tell you getting disrespected. You want to act like it ain't disrespect. And we don't know no better because we ain't from Cali. Get the hell out of here, man. Get up out of here, man. I went to school in Cali. I lived in Cali. I worked in Cali. I know enough, man. I know enough. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to hear that. And I know them Latinos, they ain't doing none of that in Philly. I know that much. They ain't doing none of that in Philly. Even the Ricans, man, shout out to the Ricans up North Philly. They always been cool. They ain't hostile or nothing because they always been outnumbered. So they ain't doing nothing over here. Even though y'all numbers getting higher and higher and higher, you still ain't doing nothing. You still ain't doing nothing out here. And I gotta make sure I keep letting everybody know out here, all the black folks out here in Philly, man, watch out for them. Watch out for them Mexicans, man. They the ops, and everybody know. So we waiting on y'all to pull y'all little Sereno gangs out here in Philly. We waiting on that because we ain't even a gang city. So we waiting on them days. We waiting on that. I bet you we run y'all motherfuckers the fuck up out of here. I bet you y'all getting ran up out of here. This ain't Cali. This ain't Cali. All right. This ain't Cali. We ain't like them niggas over there. We not scared. Y'all niggas scared in Cali. Y'all scared, man. And what? Who won't do something about it? I'm telling the truth. Y'all always lying, talking about so-and-so gang went to war with so-and-so gang. We ain't trying to hear that no more. We ain't trying to hear that no more. We seen them young boys get pressed on camera in the middle of sucking D for Mexicans. They came up and pressed them like that. And the only way they got up out of there is because they knew the cameraman. Some other Mexican. Y'all over here doing vlogs with Mexicans, Mexican gang pulling up on you. Then you got to worry about, damn, did y'all get set up? Why are you even doing business with them? See what I'm saying? They still doing business with them. You ain't even supposed to be doing business with them. They the ops. They don't do no business with y'all. Man, I ain't seen a Mexican in a soul food restaurant yet, man. I've never seen a Mexican in a soul food restaurant yet. Every time you go to the taqueria, there go some niggas up in there, though. It's always niggas at the Mexican spot getting some tacos. I ain't never seen them get a platter from the soul food spot. Ever. So how we kumbaya, how we all one? Ain't no money being spent on our side. You ain't spending nothing with us. Ain't no ally shit, man. There's no black and brown, man. That's why y'all getting deported. That's why y'all getting deported, man. Them motherfuckers are scared out there. They scared in California. They don't even want to talk about it, man. They rather talk about tethers and stuff like that. They rather talk about immigrants, black immigrants that don't even be in California like that. Like, really, man, that's how you gotta know that they pushing propaganda, man. They don't even want to talk about real issues and right in their own backyards. They don't even want to talk about that. They don't even want to talk about that, man. It's all buffoonery. And them niggas scared of the Mexicans. Hey, to be honest, man, I done traveled all over this country. Like I said, I've been to 13 different. I done been to 13 different countries. Traveled all over this country, and I lived down south, lived on the West Coast. They scared of them in the South too. They scared of them down Texas too. I noticed that too. They real scared of them in Texas too. They let them call them Nick. They let them call them the N-word and all type of stuff down there in Texas too. It's the same situation. They just not as violent as the Latinos in California and Texas. You know what I'm saying? They got Mexicans flooding in Georgia and stuff like that. And all them dudes want to act like we all buddy. The blood gangs is all clicked in with Sereno gangs. I'm like, how y'all doing that, man? Don't y'all know the history of them Sereno gangs, man? And what they do? How y'all gonna click in with them just because they outnumbered and they over there, they come in there with, here, look, we got all the bricks. We got all the bricks. So let's go buy the bricks from them niggas. While they sit back, collect all that money. Y'all make them rich. You know what I'm saying? And you sell that poison to your people. And then you get locked up. And ain't nobody really getting rich off that shit no more. You going to jail now. That's what you're doing. You're going to jail. The only people getting rich is them. Come on, man. They down there in Georgia talking about, yeah, man. Yeah, I love my essays. I seen him. Man, they was telling me that down there. The nigga was from Valdosta, talking about he loved his essays in Valdosta, Georgia. I'm like, nigga, you was a clown, man. You was a clown, man. They the ops. I gotta tell them, yo, they the ops, man. Don't you know they pull up and they do drive-by shootings on little girls who jump and rope on the sidewalk? That's how they do in California. They do drive-by shootings on little girls jumping rope on the sidewalk. They do drive-by shooting on a brother standing at the bus stop in his work uniform, ready to go to work. But when they come over to the East Coast, when they're in North Carolina and Charlotte, and they acting friendly because, it's only a few of them, and they go, oh, yeah, I love the Mexicans. Man, cool as hell. Nah, bro, they not cool. Come on, man. You got to know better. Y'all need to be beating down on them right now. While they don't got no numbers, you need to be beating down on them. Nah, we ain't going to do that. We're going to wait and be reactionary. We're going to wait for them to get their numbers up, and then we're going to wait for them to call us N-words, and then we're going to wait for them to start doing drive-bys, and we're going to wait for them to rape our kids. We're going to wait for all that before we do anything. And then even when they do all that, we still might not do nothing because we're scared. That's the reality of the situation. That's the reality of the situation, man. And you niggas is in denial about it. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. I see it for what it is, man. I lived over there. I lived in Tijuana, Mexico. Back in 2019 through 2023, whatever. Back during them years when they had like 2,500 bodies in a year. Like, it was like 8 bodies a night. Like, there wasn't even no numbers like that in America. Chicago ain't never had numbers like that. 8 bodies a night? I'm talking about every night. 7 days a week, 8 bodies a night. I was over there. I wasn't scared of them, man. I mean, people had to chase down the street with knives and stuff, man. I got caught N-words a couple times over there, man. I mean, knives I pulled on people out there. It is what it is, though, man. Like, so I know how they get down, man. That's why I try to tell y'all the truth, man, because a lot of y'all just be dumb. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black people are just dumb. They look at it like, well, if they're not white, then it's like, oh, they must be on our side. No. I'm glad that we breaking that curse that them old folks put on us that made us think that way. But it's not happening fast enough, man. It's not happening fast enough because, like I said, you got these people coming in from far across, from all over the world, coming to our cities and our neighborhoods, and we looking at them like they not a threat, man. They a threat, man, and we need to treat them as such. That we need to be hostile to them at all times. At all times, they don't like us They don't like us anyway. You see what I'm saying? They don't like us anyway. So there's no reason to try to be friendly and try to win them over. What are we winning them over for? There's nothing that we can get from them. There's no beneficial uh, business that we can do with each other. What are we dealing with? We're gonna deal with drugs. That's the only kind of business they've been doing with us for the last 40 years or so. 40 years, 50 years. Like, all they come with is drugs. Like, or some coffee or something. Like, come on, man. Yeah, man. So once again, man, I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I wasn't even gonna jump on here and say this, man, but I might as well. I might as well, man. Because like I said, I got experience on the West Coast. I've lived over there. I went to school over there. I've worked over there. I mean, I've been all over there, man. So for certain people to be like, well, I can't speak on it because I'm not from there. I'm not trying to hear that. And I'm going to keep pushing this message. As long as they keep that narrative going, as long as them California dudes and keep going with the whole, oh, well, since you ain't from here, you can't speak on this. I'm going to keep pushing this message that them niggas is scared of Mexicans. Because it's the truth. It's literally the truth, man. I seen it. I seen them scared. I seen them scared with my own eyes. They don't be wanting no smoke. And they know they can't go to certain neighborhoods. They can't go to certain towns no time of day. It don't matter if it's nighttime or daytime. You know what I'm saying? They got daytime towns and sundown towns where them dudes get, where black folks get the business for being out there. And no, you can't say there's nowhere like that where I'm from, because it's not. It's not. Not where I'm from. You might be able to talk that in the South. Somebody might have got listened to the South. I don't know, but where I come from, ain't none of that happening like that. It's just not. It's not. It's not. Whether it's coming from white folks or it's coming from Latinos, it's not. So I'm gonna stand by. I'm gonna stand on that all day long, 24/7. Black Californians are scared of Mexicans, and it's 100% true. And they can't deny it, man. They can deflect all day. They can deflect on No Jumper. They can deflect on these podcasts. But the reality of the situation is they scared. And if you ain't from Cali and you really don't know, trust me, man. Trust me. I'm not from Cali. I don't have no skin in the game to want to like act like I'm like that in Cali. I don't have to, man. Just know I'm from the East Coast. I've lived over there. I seen them niggas is scared of Mexicans. I seen it. I seen it, man. They don't check them. I gotta check them off. I gotta check them off rip. That's how you gotta deal with them. You have to check them from day one. As soon as you deal with them, if you want a job, you deal with them. Step straight to whoever's in charge. Step straight to them and let them know you ain't going for no bullshit. And you know what I'm saying? That's the only way they're gonna respect you. Because if you don't, they're gonna do you dirty. That's how Latinos do. That's how Mexicans do. That's how Latinos do in general. The Ricans do the same thing. The Dominicans do the same thing. In New York and New Jersey, it's the same thing. Go step straight to the head Latino in charge. First day on the job. And don't never get sweet with them. Don't never try to crack no jokes with them. Don't never be friendly with them. It's straight business. And make sure they respect you. And if you don't, you ain't gonna be in that job for long. That's just the reality of the situation. And the only way you stay there for long is if you just ready to be a slave. You ready to be a slave for the Spanish speaking master. If you ready for that, then yeah, then you'll thrive at that job. You'll be there. Maybe they'll even promote you. I doubt it. I doubt they don't promote black people. They're gonna fire you anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get you out the job anyway. Once you get one of them in the management position, they fire all the black people anyway. So that's why you gotta step to them first day. Because you know what I'm saying? Because when they bring you in, they're only bringing you in because they don't want to get sued. They might have been sued already, so that's why they have to bring in a blackface. Just let them know from the get-go. Because the only reason you in there, you ain't in there temporarily anyway in their eyes. So you might as well step straight to them on day one. Because if you build some kind of respect, then you might be okay. They might have to keep you around. Like, look, man, he different. He not like them other niggas, man. Watch out for him. He ain't going for the garbage. Yeah, he do his job good. But just watch what you say around him. Yeah, that's how you had to be with them, man. That's how you gotta be with the Latinos. They the ops, 1,000%. So, I mean, I'm gonna cut this message here, man. I've been ranting, so I'm gonna let it go here. Just know, California black folks are scared of Mexicans. 120,000, 50, 11%. Point blank. Period. Holla at you on the next one.